Yell at me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like 2023 has been an absolutely amazing year for movies. We have gotten nothing but bangers gracing our cinema screens. I feel like I've had some of the most enjoyable cinema experiences this year, especially this year compared to the past few, since we've just been recovering from a gigantic global quarantine. So, you know that nature and humanity is healing as a whole when two of the highest rating IMDb movies of the year are a biopic and a movie about a big lizard. Which I find hilarious. I'm talking about Oppenheimer and Godzilla. I find so funny that they're both essentially stories about the atrocities we committed in World War II. Like, it isn't as simple as biopic and Big Lizard. We have the man who invented the Big Bomba, and then we have Godzilla, which is an allegory for the Big Bomba. Which I don't know if that's extremely common knowledge. If you're not aware, Godzilla was invented as an allegory for the nukes that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki because the Japanese people were so incredibly traumatized by how fast we destroyed two of their cities that they invented a gigantic monster to vest all of that fear into. Which I mean, it sucks. Like, that sucks. Your whole family got vaporized in a second, but I get to see a big lizard fight King Kong. Like, did I really lose? But I did not come down here today to talk to you guys about the character creation, backstory, and lore of Godzilla as a character. I actually come to discuss something much more vital to the survival of our species. And that is Twitter drama regarding the new trailer that dropped for the new Godzilla movie that's coming out really soon. Not Godzilla -1. I'll reference that in the video, but this is actually the newer movie coming out in the MonsterVerse called Godzilla X Kong. And I'm going to get it out of the way now. Yes, that sounds like a title for a porn video. I don't know. If I go to a theater and I see Godzilla railing King Kong for 2 hours and 30 minutes, I'm buying a second round of tickets because I need to truly indulge. But that isn't what I'm here to talk about. Nor am I here to talk about the other small drama going on in the background, which is the baby King Kong stuff. People are a little mad about a new character in the trailer that looks like this. And get this. What do you think his name is? Baby Kong? Did you guess Baby Kong? You were right. At least that's what people have been calling him so far, and I don't know exactly what that name could have come from. They might have delved into the Latin or something. Maybe they grabbed some ethnic name from Skull Island. Truly, it's a very well thought out and complex name for the character, and I'm interested to see how they delve into it in the movie. But regardless, I'm talking about the movement in the trailer, because there is a clip from the actual trailer that people are all goofing on collectively, and I'm going to show it to you guys right now. Now, there's a lot of questions from this small, like, 6-second clip that you guys just witnessed. One of the big ones being, why is their movement that of Fortnite characters? I don't know if they were pre-animating their Fortnite running animation before they put them in the game for the collab that's definitely going to happen when this movie comes out. You can quote me on that. But my other question is, why is King Kong whipping a goddamn infinity gauntlet? I know this is definitely going to be something explained later in the movie. Maybe he got his arm cut off by the new antagonist of the movie and he has some sort of new prosthetic infinity gauntlet. But I also find that goofy. However, that's completely harmless, and I would say probably the least of our worries. However, the thing that I'm kind of bent on a sideways about, that's not a saying, but pretend it is for a second. The thing that I'm kind of bent sideways about is the fact that he moves so freely. It's a hard way to explain it. People are arguing about this in the wrong way. I see a lot of people arguing like, oh, you're angry because Godzilla's running? You're angry because Godzilla has slightly faster movement? Which, no, I don't care. Like, they're using this as justification. Godzilla can't run. Look what he's doing. He's like hitting a little wiggle, running around, like smacking people. With the ancient Godzilla movie where that's literally just a man in a suit. Well, they also use the new one. But still, sped up. Oh my god. Wow, okay, I didn't need those ears anyway. But what I'm kind of comparing it to isn't much of running. I don't care if Godzilla runs. He's a lizard on a mission. He got shit to do. If he needs to run, he can do whatever the hell he wants. But put that in comparison to a clip from one of the old movies from 2016. The way he moves is so much more focused on showing his absolutely insane size. And his very silly roar. But, like, it's focused on being like, wow, this guy is goddamn massive. Look at him go. And, of course, him moving slightly slower is just our human perception of what we see because of how insanely large he is. And then put that in comparison with a clip from the new movie like this, where he's, like, he's going on a nice brisk jog. Like, it doesn't add any weight. It looks like he's 20 pounds. He looks like he's 3 feet tall. And, of course, there is the whole idea that he's in a massive cave that was built for his species size, so it fits. And, of course, the movie is less focused on the human perspective now, so I guess it's more focused on what this lizard can do, like monster versus monster, rather than monster and its atrocities and how it affects humanity. So it makes sense that we're less focused on the human perspective, but at the same time, these monsters look like Fortnite skins. Not just the running style, but just the weight. It feels not the same. However, I can't be hating Godzilla, because he was moving in the past movies like this. And honestly, if they're gonna go all out, if they're gonna add the new movement in this new Godzilla X Kong, if they're gonna make him move like this, I want to see him move like this. I need to see Godzilla do a tail levitating drop kick in the movie, or I'm not gonna watch it again. But of course, if there are any Godzilla fanboys in the chat right now who are big fans, first of all, I agree with you. Godzilla is so much fun to watch. I loved all the movies, even the bad ones, but people might bring up the idea that, hey, Godzilla -1. You mentioned him earlier in the video, and you haven't really brought him back. He moves pretty freely, too. Like, look at this snippet from the trailer. Like, he's kind of whipping the... Oh, they look like they're in an unfortunate situation, but he's whipping it, too. But please take into consideration the absolute difference in size between these behemoths. If you look at an actual graph, I saw this one on Twitter. I don't know if this is, like, confirmed lore, but it's a pretty interesting art piece put together. Look at the size difference. He could... This looks like he is dropping him off for school. Like, he forgot his lunchbox. So, of course, a smaller Godzilla is going to have much more free movement because it isn't the size of a goddamn skyscraper. But all this aside, I feel like some people are taking this very seriously. People are seeing this faster Godzilla movement and thinking the movie is cooked, when in reality, it's probably just one snippet. Like, I assume when Godzilla interacts with the people, they're still going to keep that huge, girthy size. That was a weird way to describe it, but they're going to keep the gigantic size in comparison because, I mean, just take the movie that I referenced earlier in this video into consideration. This snippet that I showed you guys, if you go later into the movie, when he's fighting the actual behemoth, not behemoth, the big, like, flying fella, while they do keep their slower, like, articulated movements, he does kind of move a little faster. And it's because it's less focused on the human perspective at this point, and it's more focused on the perspective of the monsters. However, I still can't get away from the fact that they made that scene so incredibly dark, I assume to make the CGI easier, but it looks really ugly, unfortunately. I would have loved to see Godzilla take on those two flying assholes and just rip them to shreds, but instead I'm looking at two shadows having a shadow puppet fight. But of course, I feel like this movie's still going to do well. I think it's going to be an enjoyable experience, because regardless of the weird movement in that one snippet of the trailer, it's still big-ass monsters fighting in a giant city and destroying things, which I think is always fun. Like, I don't think that anyone could hate that. So, I guess it's going to be an enjoyable experience. I just saw the Twitter beef online, thought it was hilarious, and wanted to add my 2 cents or 3 cents accounting for inflation. But I'm going to be getting out of here for now. I just appreciate you guys sitting here with me. If you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. But I'm going to leave you guys with a question that I want you guys to answer in the comments, because I'm curious about your thoughts if you are at all knowledgeable on Godzilla at all. And that is this one I saw on Twitter, which is... It just brings up that these two wouldn't like each other, but I'm curious, which one would win? I know that this one has the size advantage, but this guy's like a mini nuclear bomb. Like, it's instead of it being like Coughing Baby versus Atom Bomb, it's like Atom Bomb versus slightly smaller Atom Bomb, but they have the same explosion radius. But regardless, I'm going to be hopping out of here for now. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to give you guys the song of the day, which is, of course, just like the gigantic behemoths in the movie, having a little bit of a pillow fight by Young Gravy. Give it a listen. I actually just recently been getting into older Young Gravy music, and it is a banger. He like definitely got more of a flow in his later career, but he had some pretty funny bars in his earlier career. So give that a listen, and of course subscribe. Stick around for more. Like the video. This was a bit of an all over the place one today, mainly because I just woke up. So I hope you enjoyed, but I'm gonna get out of here. So thank you guys, and as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and cut that. That was my Godzilla sound. Cut that out now.